So, as a leadership performance coach, I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Be That Create That podcast. I'm your host, Trienne, and today we're going to dive into a topic that it can really transform your life, but it also can take a lot of people and put them on setback, right? And they can say, okay, you lost me. That's a trigger word. And that is setting goals. Whether this is in your personal life or a professional journey, having clear goals or targets to make it a little easier for those can lead to some amazing things. It can also lead to some anxiety, some triggering, like I said, and it can even stop people completely in their tracks. So what I want you to do right now is grab your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, or go for a walk. Get those creative juices flowing, and let's get started. Let's get intentional with those goals and targets. So I was talking to my kids today at the school, and we were talking about goal setting. And for them, I didn't land it on, hey, today we're going to talk about goal setting. Can you imagine if I go into a first grade class and I say, today for 30 minutes, we're going to talk about goal setting? Lost them at that point, right? So instead, what I went in is I said, hey, who wants to do something amazing? Who wants to do something amazing in their life with some purpose, with some direction, right? So it gives you that purpose and direction, because goal setting, creating targets, however you want to call it, you can think of as like a roadmap. Without those goals, without those targets, we might feel lost. We might feel aimless. We start to feel sad and unsure of where we're headed. But most importantly, we're unsure of where we want to be. So it's almost like getting in your car, turning it on, and starting to drive down the road with no plan or intention on where you want to go. Are you going to get there? You're not going to get there. But with a well-defined roadmap, an idea for sure of where you want to go, we have something to strive for and something that helps motivate us to really push ourselves a little bit further. So the first action step I want you to think about is I want you to reflect on some sort of vision that you want for yourself. Like I said to the first graders, what is your amazing thing? So I want you to take just a minute and reflect on your vision for your life. What do you want to achieve personally and professionally? Can we jot this down? Maybe you want to advance in your career. Maybe you want to start a side hustle. Maybe you want to start a whole LLC. Maybe it's just about improving your health. Maybe it's building better relationships. So when you get a chance, write down your vision in a journal or a notebook so that you can reflect back and go, okay, what's next for me? So now let's talk about the power and the intimidation of the SMART goal, right? We all know the SMART goal, SMART, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. When you set SMART goals, you start to increase your chances of success because now they're clear and they're actionable, right? How about those of you that when you see, let's set a SMART goal, you're so intimidated by the words that you have to use or the process that you go through that it stops you from ever starting in the first place? So that's why I changed to going to targets and plans to get there. However, there are places in life for SMART goal, right? And here's an example of why. Say one of your visions as choosing your SMART goal is that instead of just saying, I want to be healthier, a SMART goal is going to say, I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week to reduce my sugar intake. And I'm going to do this consistently by the end of 3 months. Which one of those is potentially going to happen? I want to be healthier, or I will exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, reduce my sugar intake, and do this consistently by the end of 3 months. Of course, the second one is. It's getting into that process, right? So your next journaling in your notebook is going to be my SMART goal for the next 3 months. Now, why am I saying 3 months? Why am I saying 90 days? Because for me, what I've always noticed is if I can take things in quarters, I can always see the fruit of my labor, as we put it, at the end of a 90-day run. And then I can go, whoo, that worked, or this didn't, or this is what I want to do differently next time. And I've only had kind of a season, right? And my targets change with the seasons, right? Because we have different things going on in business, different things going on for us personally. So the next thing that we're going to do is our next action step, mind you, is to find yourself that accountability partner. So we already know that by finding an accountability partner or a colleague of some sort, that when you reach out to that friend, mentor, colleague, and you share your SMART goal, a couple different things are going to happen while you're asking them to help process that with you. They're either going to go, wow, that's a big goal, and almost make you take a step back, or they're going to say, wow, that's a big goal. Like, let's freaking go, right? So this also, by opening up and sharing your SMART goal with that person, is also going to give you kind of a insider look of how supportive this person's going to be when it comes to checking in, right? So you could maybe also join like just a regular goal setting group or community online for added support and accountability. However, get one on the books. So your next prompt would be, I'm going to reach out to blank and ask them, hey, would you be interested in being an accountability partner for me for this SMART goal? Their response is going to help you understand if they're the right person for the job, if they are somebody that you are comfortable and open with talking to. And then you can go, okay, our first check-in is going to be on this date, and this is what I'm envisioning that it might look like. So here's what's next. We've already gone kind of through our first step. It's crucial to take consistent action. Stay adaptable. In fact, maybe if you've got some changes, but also celebrate along the way, because those small wins are going to add up to some significant achievements and changes. And when you're picking that accountability partner, one of the things you have to think about is they're not always going to be comfortable with you changing. People like to know what their circle looks like, and not everybody is going to be like, yes, change, be different, because they like where you fit into their life right now. So how can you show them the importance of moving forward with those targets for you and why you think it's important? And then even motivate or inspire them to do it for themselves. Then you're turning into something more like a mastermind, and then starts those ripple effects, right? So we've created our SMART goal, and hopefully you've had the chance to do that. You're throwing it on like a 3-month time frame, less if you can, but 3 months has always been a good starting point for me. You've scheduled your regular check-ins with not only yourself, but to review your progress about those goals with your accountability partner. So here's your time for the action step of asking yourself what's working really well, what challenges you're facing, and what things you feel like maybe need an adjustment. Make it adaptable. Because remember, it's okay to tweak those targets as you start to gain some new insights or circumstances start to evolve along the way. So on a weekly basis, you've got this reflection and you're saying to yourself, hey, gosh, I noticed that when I say that I'm going to go to the gym for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and I'm going to reduce my sugar intake, that here are some obstacles I'm hitting. Okay, so what about 4 days a week? What if I reduce my sugar intake to like stevia or Truvia, or a different kind of sugar, so I don't lose my sweet tooth? What if I take this and I say I want to do this in 2 months because, on the contrary, I'm feeling really good about how I've been doing 30 minutes, 5 days a week and reducing my sugar, right? So these can be adaptable in both ways. Don't just say it's only adaptable because I'm not making what it was that I wanted. So finally, Tony Robbins says setting goals is the first step in taking what is invisible and making it visible. Your goals have the power to take the things that are in your mind and the dreams and the visions that are in your mind and turn them into a freaking reality. That can scare a lot of people. It can make people stop and go, I don't know if this is me. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm enough. Different. You want to remember that the things that are coming into your mind are not there on accident. They're there for a reason. They were there for you to see, for you to feel, for you to bring to fruition. And it's going to take your actions and your perseverance to actually make those things happen. So lastly, one of the things that we want to think about is that as we start to progress, which is building upon things, celebrate the process and celebrate the progress. I've made blank avenues towards my goal or my target. And because this has happened, this is one of the things that I would like to reward myself or even my family with. And you want to keep in mind that setbacks are going to happen. They're not a failure unless you use them to give up. You want to use them as a learning opportunity, adjust your course. Everything's adaptable and adjustable, and just keep pushing forward towards your dreams. We want to make sure that we stay focused, we stay determined, we understand why we started in the first place, and we keep striving for those amazing things, because a lot of amazing things are waiting for you along that personal and professional growth journey that only you have the power to bring out of yourself. We can't count on anybody else to do that for us. We can only count on ourselves when it comes to that. And you have to, and you get to support yourself in that, because the story that you're right now creating is going to inspire positive change for other people along the way. You're just beginning, but somewhere along the way, there's going to come a time you're never going to say like, I've arrived, because we're always in the becoming. Continuous improvement in leadership, right? At all times. Things are changing so vastly and quickly, and that's exciting. Choose if it's scary or exciting, which is totally for another time. However, I want you to understand that the amazing things that are happening in your life, you have the ability to change and influence and create. And all it's going to take is for you to say, this is something that I'm looking for, right? This is my vision. This is my goal to get there, how I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to tell someone about it so that I have an accountability person, and then I'm going to get to freaking work. And yep, when a setback happens, I may take a step back, but then I'm going to go 2 feet forward, jump back in, and keep going, because it's that important to me. And I'm going to inspire someone else along the road. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today on this episode. Please leave us a review, share it with your friends and colleagues if you feel so moved. Your support helps us reach even more listeners and inspire some more of those amazing positive changes. So until next time, stay focused, stay determined, keep striving for those amazing things, because this is your specific personal and professional growth journey, and you are the only one that can create your leadership lifestyle.